That's
on
awesome.
TV.
Listen, so the two male doctors were pretty cool, right? The female doctor, the psychiatrist, like she didn't like me.
Why?
She immediately I got this whole Nancy Grace feel, where she hated me before as I walked in the room, and she just had this. I could just tell this disdain for me, and as we talked, and I realized, and I'm trying to be nice and funny and joke around and be be charismatic or whatever, charming, and I'm trying to work on it.
You're superficially superficially charming.
Yes, it's not working on her.
No,
she's not having it. And then at one point,
hey, can you hit the AC over there?
Yeah, I'm dying in here.
You know how to do it? You never done it.
What happens is at one point she starts in with, as she's asking questions, she suddenly says, "So you involved quite a few, single mothers in your crime." And I went,
she said that?
Yeah, and I went,
she's a single mom.
No, she's not.
No?
But she just, everything she was asking was normal.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, boom. So anyway, she says something about mothers or women or single, and I went, well, what? And she goes, well, I understand you involved several females in your crime. And I went, well, no. I said there were people involved in my crime. I said a few of them happened to be single mothers. But I said, but I didn't involve them,
pick them out.
Yeah, and I was like, she's like, well, you were dating them, right? I was like, well, I dated a few women, but most women in their 30s. I go, in the U.S., you're 30 years old and you're single, you probably have a kid. And she goes, not all of them have a kid. I said, yeah, I understand not all of them have a kid. But 80 or 90% of them have kids. and she said, well, that seems like a high statistic. I forget what, I was just like.
Where are we going?
She's kind of argumentative. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, so. I said, listen, let me explain something. I said, she's like, why would they want to be involved in your crime? I said, because I was making money and I was dating them. I go, and I'm not running a charity here. I'm not just giving you money. And they start saying, hey, can I do something? Can I get involved? And so if I happen to say, well, I mean, you could do this or you could do this, and we would share in the profit, or you'd make 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever, but you got to do this and this and this. Because otherwise, I said, I don't need them.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not going and saying, hey, I'm dating you. Here's 50 grand. If you're saying I want to make some money, and I say, okay, well, here's what I'm doing. You can do this. And they say, absolutely, I want to do that. Then that's great. I said, now you're making it seem like I targeted them. I said, which I absolutely did not. And she's like, well, that's what, what she basically starts making it sound like that's what it is or something. I was like, that's not what it, I don't know where you're getting this. These women came up with this whole scheme to get a lesser sentence. Mm-hmm. And I explained how that whole thing kind of took off. And I said, but you know what? I said, listen, just to wrap this up real quick. I go, if that's what, if you want to wrap this line of questioning up real quick, I said, absolutely. I targeted single mothers. I forced them to help me with their crimes. I sent them all to prison. I said, I left them with nothing. I said, is that what you want? Because I said, if that's what you want, that's what you want. I'm good. So it was something along those lines where I just snapped, and she was like, well, I'm just, and then we went on. It was just like I'm, and this is and I think I even said this. I said, what the worst thing about this whole line of questioning is? I said,
really? You really went that far to say that to her?
Well, because
she was a cynic.
Well, here's the issue is, look, you're accusing me of taking part in the Kennedy assassination. And then if I say, what are you talking about? I didn't help kill John F. Kennedy. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. You know what then they say, oh, you're unwilling to take responsibility? Yes. Just like I'm unwilling to take responsibility for the bombing of Pearl Harbor, or the invasion of Iraq, or whatever, all these other things that I had nothing to do with. It's hard to say that's not true without, then they just spin it. And you look like, oh, you're denying it. I said, look, I'm willing to own up to everything I've ever done. I said, and if I did that, I'd be laughing about it with you. I'd say, yep, that's what I did. Ha, fuck them. I said, but I didn't. I said, so I'm not willing to live under that yoke. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And she went, Well, and then she kept going. That chick hated my guts. Like, I know she just disliked me. And, you know, I tried to be nice to her, and everything was, she just seemed like she had a little dig every chance.
Was that the interview where you sent me the photo where you're like in that big room with the cool lighting where it looks like it's like a psychiatrist office or something?
Yes.
Very modern.
It's on the sound studio.
Blonde lady, right?
No, redhead.
Oh, she was redhead.
Redhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that now.
Yeah.
You
She was
really
pretty.
sold me on that part of it.
She was super pretty. Like she was like the worst kind of woman. She was like pretty and smart.
Oh yeah.
Horrible. What a horrible combination. Like, I mean, like
You
like
can never win with
no,
that
you
one,
can't.
bro.
You can't. You have to feel horrible for like
Oh, it's fucked.
any guy that dates her, because she's also a psychiatrist. So no matter what you do,
you're
she
fucked.
can spin it and twist it and tweak it. And this is like, I can't win an argument with you.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing is to be dating a chick.
Or the worst thing is to be a dumb guy dating a smart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or maybe it could be the best thing. You know.
Or
maybe.
a smart guy and she's smarter than you,
Right.
which is even worse
That's
because you can't
worse.
even fall back
You
on
could-
being stupid.
Just like you.
Yeah,
You guys were
that's worse.
clashing, right?
Horrible, bro. She's as bad as the psychiatrist at
Your appointed psychiatrist.
yeah, no, the one at the one in Coleman. Like, she'd seen 1,000 Matt Cocks, and she was cocky, and so it's like there's nothing I could do. This woman, I walked into her office, and I'm already just like the whole room's closing in on me. It was like she knew everything about me. She'd already taken me and categorized me and said, okay, bop, 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 bop,
Yeah.
boom. You sit down, and she's like, so one of your parents was an alcoholic. Like, what are you talking about? How would you know that? So your mother, was she? And you're like, how do you know these things?
Oh my
Like,
god.
super smart. Like, anything you say, she just twist it this way, twist it this way. Of course, she was divorced.
Yeah.
Because that dude finally just said, I give up.
I wonder if the lady in Amsterdam who's interviewing you, if she was divorced or what? I wonder what.
I don't know. She
was
was
she a
single.
was she a single
She was
mother?
single. She wasn't a single mother because I even mentioned
Oh, you already said that, yeah.
Yeah, but not just that. I had said something to her when we were talking about dating. She's like, "Well, you don't have to date single mothers." I said, "The bulk of them are single mothers." And I'm not trying to what am I saying?
Easy for you to say.
I'm not trying to
Discriminate.
Thank you. I'm telling you, I'm losing it. So, I said, I mean, what do I care? I like kids. If they have a kid, fine. So as we're talking, I said, let's face it. I said, she goes, well, you could date, what? She started going on and on. I said, well, let's face it. I said, someone like you's not going to date me. She goes, oh no, I wouldn't date you. And I was thinking, well, like I walked into that. Like, that wasn't, you didn't have to say that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I was just like,
God damn.
Jesus.
Should have hit you while you were down.
Was that filmed for the show or
Yeah, the whole thing. Usually
So
they
that
had
was
me
filmed.
doing all these tests. Like I'm
on
answering.
camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all messed up.